Hello, fire signs. Welcome to your weekly oracle insight. So I decided to do this week something a little bit different for all the signs, but divided by elements. So just I will give a general feeling, and then I will go into specifically into each sign with some short message. But you know, as always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. If you would like a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. Or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do so by following the PayPal link, which is also down below, and as well my Facebook and Instagram page. So, fire signs. This is a very interesting energy that some of you have here for this week. It's a very dynamic energy, very associated and in tune here with the element, right? Which you are naturally geared and wired, right? To be and react towards. So, but I'm feeling like this fire has not been, for some fire signs, their fire, the energy, their yang energy, their energy of courage, impulse, action, drive, passion, creation, it has not been where it should. It's like you have some type of, you have been through something, some fire signs that kind of castrated you or took you out severely of your element. And what I'm feeling is like, for some of you, this week can kind of push you, right? Confront you with the need to reawaken your soul and to allow this rebirth to take over you, which means that for some of you, fire signs, you are being asked to kind of allow yourselves to go into the fire and see that that fire is something you control, and it's something that you own naturally. For some of you have just forgotten. And so that by jumping into, by giving in into your element, you can kind of recover a part of you. You can see that there's something about your nature that has always been there, just maybe not well placed. I feel like maybe your fire has not been placed properly. I also feel like some of you, your sacral and solar plexus chakras have not been as well, you know, as working as properly as they should, or they have been congested with some type of lack of motivation and confidence, which is a very weird thing to have here. For some of you, you're just leaving situations. You're allowing this beautiful energy of Aries season to come in, the equinox to come in, the spring to come in, and kind of take you by the hand in terms of initiative and new beginnings. This is the common theme you have. I'm sorry. I'm using the Osho Tarot, Zen Tarot, because I really love the symbology here, and I think that for oracle readings is one of the best you can give in terms of depth. So this is the common theme for all fire signs, and what a beautiful card to have. It's the source energy, which in the traditional tarot is the Ace of Wands. So the source, you see, this is a reading for fire, right? The fire signs, and the common theme you have is the Ace of Wands or the source card. Just allow yourself to look at this picture for a minute and really tap into this powerful vibration. It's so simple, right? So much of the same fiery tones and colors, but it's very powerful actually. It's a very powerful card. At least when I look at it, I feel a very powerful vibe about it. So the common theme is all about initiative, new beginnings, rebirth, taking action, taking control. It's the seeds and the potential of something very raw, dynamic, and passionate to kind of sprout out of your life, to be, you know, manifested. Especially, I'm sorry again, especially for Aries, I feel like your energy is the one that it's calling here the most out of your capacity to endure. And I feel like it's like endure. I feel like Aries are still enduring circumstances that maybe are not the ones they wanted, of course, to be involved with. It's like you're being called to be brave, to stand in your ground during this week. This week appeals to courage, appeals to brave, resilience, and knowing that even though the soil in which the ground in which you are kind of forced or obligated during this time to be in, even though the odds may seem to be against you, or there's something that seems to be, not a very positive thing, I feel like for some of you, you will discover this week, or there's an opportunity this week to actually realize that it may just, out of the statistics, right, out of what's kind of in your mind about it, surprise you, and actually something that in which you put a lot of love, in which you put a lot of yourself, in which you put a lot of courage. Because to live, right, to live and to keep living despite of the trials and the battles we go through demands what? It demands an immense ability, right, to keep trying, to keep putting love into the places that maybe have hardened. So there's something in your life that was hard, right? That was maybe surrounded by some walls of defense, places in your life that has this energy of something that it's tight, something that it's rigid, something that feels like, that it's impossible to change. Suddenly this week there can be a result that you don't expect, that comes from the heart, that comes from what you have been pouring out. So it's a very interesting energy for Aries here this week. You can really be surprised by, there's some type of blessing coming to you. I feel, I also feel like some of you, you have alternative ways that you're not kind of seeing or understanding, because you're not flowing with the process. I feel like some of you are still dealing here with resistance, either to change, either to the flow of life, either due to fear of losing control. Some of you could be dealing with control issues as well this week. But the overall energy with the courage card is about endurance. It's about courage to try and to keep on trying, to risk, because to live is to risk, but to risk for love, it's what makes most of the times life worthwhile. So for Leo, I feel like some Leos during this time, you're kind of at odds with something that really gives you an uncomfortable feeling. I feel like some Leos are in the middle of some fights, some crisis of consciousness. I don't know if it's guilt, if it's suffering, if it's shame, but there is a certain element here that it's hard for Leos to understand. It's like connecting the dots about something that keeps troubling you. I feel like some of you have this ongoing repetitive thoughts, either of sadness, either of grief, or just doubts, things that you don't understand and you want to wrap your mind about. And I feel like some of you during this week, you have this tension, right, that can sometimes bring uncomfortable sensations, but you can also kind of from it, because it's fire and it's still an energy that you can master. This is the card of totality, right? And you see how this is an energy that talks about the dots connecting, right? Linkage, the energy of things being linked to each other, the process, right? Everything even what feels random right now in your life, and specifically in this week, is connected to something. And even though you may not see yet the result of it, it's something that is going to, I feel for some of you, liberate you from some suffering, from some worry, or just, you know, I feel like some of you are battling your thoughts. So you're battling some type of mental crisis, or some type of excessive worry about circumstances that, as I said, you're worrying or panicking about something that is not yet completed. So you're not seeing yet the full picture. Allow things to unfold, right? Give your hands to the process and allow things to kind of reveal themselves to you. So next, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I feel like some of you are trying to find comfort in your work. I feel like some of you are trying to find comfort in the mundane, simple joys, which is a good thing to do. I feel like there's a part of you that, though, is trying to evade. There are Sagittarius here that are kind of throwing themselves to work or to any type of mundane, daily routine task to kind of you know, evade some type of suffering, right? Or some type of fear of, you know, it's like a fear of being alone in life, or a fear of options, you know, not presenting themselves to you. So this is a complicated energy here for Sagittarius. It's like throwing yourselves to activities of your daily life that may not be the most common thing that you like to do or to be distracted by, but you're still attempting, right, to put a lot of energy and focus into something to forget another. It's something like this, or in these terms. I also feel like some of you just feel excluded. You may feel isolated, or you may not let others see your suffering, which means that isolation, right, feeling fear or pain by your own self, is in a way created by the self. So I feel like some of you are pushing the possibilities of healing, or the possibilities of real change, the real change to happen in terms of healing. It's like denial of healing. Others of you that are managing the energy better, you're kind of trying, though you're very aware of your suffering, or some part of you that is crying on the inside. I feel like Sagittarius here have a cry on the inside, and it's a very interesting thing. I feel like some of you, nature could do wonders. Some of you could really be assisted by, you know, taking walks by the park, by the river, by the sea, surrounded by the beauty and it's like the nourishment of nature. Feeling like if you can't yet, you know, connect, or if you can't share your suffering, I feel, or your vulnerability, I feel like some of you can find in nature, or in or in any other kind of activity, you know, you can find the voice that you're missing. You can find the support that you're missing. I also feel like some of you, though, you can be kind of exploring your lives in a way where you want to perfect it. I feel like there's this perfectionism about things that you are kind of investing your energy into. This is the Eight of Rainbow, the ordinary card, but it's to find beauty in the ordinary things, in the simple things, in the things that usually we take for granted. It's a card that also talks about, you know, putting a lot of your experience, a lot of your wisdom, a lot of your gained wisdom, most likely out of your suffering, or experiences that were hurtful or difficult to go through, to pour a lot of that wisdom into your work, because that can open doors for the future. I feel like some of you, you're more focused on the present because you don't see the way yet for the future. There's something here on those terms. So I hope you enjoyed this weekly insight. Thank you so much for all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting to my channel. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and please keep doing so. And I want to wish a very happy equinox to all of you, and hopefully we'll see each other soon.